All right, folks, this is the 2-octave A scale on the viola. And so I'm going to walk you through this. The most important thing here is that we're knowing our finger pattern and our key signature. So our key signature with 3 sharps, we have F, C, and G sharps. You think fat cats go, the rest is fat cats go down alleys eating bread. So you have F, C, and G sharp to apply to this scale. Now I'm actually going to show you 2 fingerings here. The first fingering that I'm going to show you is going into 4th position, and I actually think this one's a little bit easier because it has the same finger pattern the whole time. The other one is 3rd position, and that shifts up on the A string. Okay, so if you're in 1st position in this scale, your finger pattern is going to be 3 to 4. 3 to 4 are touching, they're close together on the G and the D string. On the A string, your finger pattern is going to be 2-3 in 1st position. What we're going to do for 4th position is actually shift up after that high 3 on the D string, and you shift up to 1. The reason I like the 4th position better is because the finger pattern stays the same for both 1st and 4th position. So when you're in 4th position for this scale, on the A string and the D string, you have again 3-4 finger pattern. For the 3rd position version, you're going to shift up on the A string after C sharp to 1st finger D, and you'll have a whole step between all of your fingers, and then you'll do an extension to high A. Now, I think it's a little tricky to do that because on the viola, especially if you have a 16 or 16.5 inch, the whole steps are pretty big in your hand, and then you have to do the extension to 4th finger harmonic. So here's the first version. I'm going to walk you through this. This is the 4th position version. So here's that 4th position version. Again, we're shifting up after G sharp on the D string. So we have 1st finger A, B, high 3, C sharp, D, 1st finger E, F sharp, G sharp, and this is where I shift. So after that high 3, I slide up to A. B, C, D. So you'll notice I still have high 3 to 4, 3 and 4 are touching. That's why I like this one. 1st finger E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. Back down, G sharp, F sharp, E. I continue with this finger pattern on the A string. Really important to leave your 1st finger down on all of these. It's your anchor finger. It tells you what position you're in. Here's that 4th finger D, C sharp, B, and A. Sliding back. This is now 1st position, still 3 and 4. Alright folks, now we're going to do the 3rd position version, and for this one you have different finger patterns on the different strings. Technically this one has 3 different finger patterns, whereas the 4th position version, even though it's higher, only has 1 finger pattern in it. So we're going to start off on the note A on the G string. Stay in 1st position here. This is where I would shift for the other version. 1st finger B, 2nd finger C. Now I'm shifting up to 1st finger in 3rd position on the note D. So I have 1st finger D, and this is all whole steps. D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and then the harmonic A. When you do that harmonic A, lift your other fingers up a tiny bit so that you can let that harmonic ring. You don't have to do harmonic, but it is a good way to make sure it's in tune. Going back down, G sharp, F sharp, E, D, shift back down to first position, C sharp, B, fourth finger A, G sharp, F sharp, first finger E, D, C sharp, E. So what are we looking for in this thing? We're looking for really solid intonation, beautiful tone, about 60 beats per minute to the quarter note. So if you set your metronome, you're going to have a click per note. And if you want to try 120, then that would be 2 clicks per note. And then we want to make sure that we are really nailing those shifts. So that's what we're going to focus on right now. We'll start with the fourth position shift. Remember that our finger pattern is 3 and 4 are touching. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, shift after high 3. So I want to nail that G sharp to A. So how do I ensure that my shift is accurate? The first thing that you want to do is understand the concept of shifting and really two cornerstones to that concept. The first of which is your thumb is going to stay with your hand. So practicing this with or without the fingers on the fingerboard is going to be beneficial to practice watching your thumb move with the hand. Second thing is there's always a finger down when you're shifting. There's always a finger down when you're shifting. So in this instance, I'm shifting G sharp to A. The finger that's staying down the whole time is not third finger, it's first finger, because that's my destination finger. And so when I'm practicing this, I'm really doing a first finger E to A shift. So when I'm doing that shift, I'm actually leaving third finger down, I'm sliding it up, and then lifting second and third to reveal that first finger on the note A. So in order to do that, you have to be really steady with your 1-to-1 shift, and then allow yourself to listen to that slide in slow motion. Eventually, you can do that shift between bow changes, so it's not as big of a deal. So in slow motion, that shift looks like this. Okay, going back down after you complete your scale all the way up, you've got to go down, and we're playing A now to third position G sharp. It's kind of a similar concept as before. I'm leaving my first finger down that whole time. Don't lift it up. So I've got A, the next note is G sharp, but I'm shifting to E, and then I put G sharp down. So in slow-mo, it looks like this. Again. So I'm not just lifting my first finger up and setting my third finger down. No, I'm sliding back with the first finger to find that first position, then putting my fingers down in the right hand frame. Always important to slide with a finger. The other shift that you have is if you're going to the third position, and so that's going to be second finger on C sharp to first finger D. Now I think the shift is easier because it's just the third position. The difficulty comes with the hand position that comes after. So when I'm doing this shift, it's the same concept as before. I'm playing first finger, second finger, I slide up with first finger. I never lift that finger. I'm also sliding up with second finger, and I'm really lifting that finger to reveal that first finger on the note D. As you get faster, you might be lifting that finger as you're shifting. But it's a good habit to practice with the slide and then lift. Going down, I'm going to do the same thing I did before on the D string, but now I'm on the A string. I've got first finger in third position. What I'm really doing is sliding back to B and setting C sharp down. What that looks like in slow-mo is just like that. Eventually, it'll be a little more smooth. Okay, for the scale, again, guys, we're working on getting solid intonation, beautiful tone, about 60 beats per minute for the quarter note, and nailing those shifts.